Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bill Levinson, Managing Partner with Levinson and Associates. And with us today, we have Joseph Loughran, our Marketing Vice President. So, we hear a lot of feedback from our agents and our GAs across the country, and we try to focus these live webinars every week on either issues or questions that come up or any changes in the market with carriers, products, maybe compliance. And it's kind of tricky because we want to be the one-stop shop for all of our agents. So we like to do these little surveys and make sure that we're picking the right topics every week. We know your time is valuable, and obviously you're spending it with us on a busy Thursday afternoon. And first off, we appreciate that. And second off, we decided to pick this topic for this week's presentation on what carriers to use when and why. And as you know, we get tons of calls here, of emails, social media updates and comments, and it seems like most of our agents are always saying, you guys have over 50 companies, and I don't know what to use for which type of client or which type of scenario. So we decided to have a webinar and really dive in to each product sector and then tell you what carriers shine in that space, and then what products to use and why we would focus in on those products. So we put together a nice, easy-to-read chart for all of our agents, and we're going to email you out after today's call we call it the at-a-glance sheet, which includes all of this information. So we really try to make it as easy as possible and try to simplify your life. So great stuff to come here. Also, I think it's important for you to understand that we don't take on a carrier just for the sake of taking on another company to say, hey, we now have 116 companies. We don't want to have a Burger King and McDonald's on the same corner, if you will. Okay, so every company we have represents a certain niche in the market space. And that's what you're going to learn about today. Okay, even if we have a company that we use maybe for one simple underwriting niche or one product that really shines, it's our goal to find the hottest products and companies so our agents will never run into a situation where you have a competing agent that is talking to the same client and they have something that you cannot get your hands on. Okay, that will never happen. Okay, that's our promise to you. So that's why we wanted to really take some time today and dive into this so you understand everything about all of our companies and where to go for what. So I appreciate, again, you taking the time. And I'll touch on this briefly. We'll take a step back because we have a lot of information to cover. But we're seeing a lot of changes in the market right now, in the life space, the annuity world, of course, health insurance. And we have a lot of agents and agencies now trying to get into the life insurance space. Okay, and I'm really seeing a lot of these big health agencies either closing doors or trying to get involved in our market. So just be aware of this. Try to be one step ahead of your competition. You're going to see a lot of marketing pieces that talk about, this huge health agency is now getting into mortgage protection or final expense, or when 6 months or 2 years ago they didn't know how to spell life insurance. So we're seeing a lot of that going on. Department of Labor regulation, we're hearing about this. We're going to have a webinar on this topic in a couple of weeks. And just so everybody knows, we at Levinson and Associates have done everything that we need to do to be DOL compliant and make sure that all of our agents, especially selling annuities, that everyone is compliant and everything will be fine. So there's nothing to worry about there. You'll see some email updates and then, of course, a webinar where we're going to really dive into everything that's going on with the DOL. But just know, as far as the Department of Labor on the life insurance side, we are 100% good to go. There will be a few minor changes on the annuity side, which we will talk about. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, so let's dive in here. We have a lot of stuff to go over. The first thing is we have some changes and additions here at Levinson and Associates. Our agency automator is finally rolling out. It's been about 14 months of development, and we finally are launching the agency automator. I like to think of this as a one-stop shop CRM and prospecting tool. Okay, it's really all that you will need as an insurance agent. I don't care if you're selling health, life, annuities, cancer, critical illness. This does it all. And the best part is, you know, we hear about all these other CRM tools like Salesforce, and there's probably 20 to 30 other platforms that are available. The problem is these tools were built for business in general. Okay, they're not geared towards insurance. So what we wanted to do is build that ultimate CRM platform that was geared towards the insurance agent. We have pre-populated campaigns, preset email blasts. Everything is already set up for you. We even have a 800 number with a help desk with a live person that is going to walk you through any questions or obstacles that you need to get over. So we literally thought about every scenario, crossed our T's, dotted our I's, and made sure that this was 100% before launching it to our agents. So we're very, very excited about this. So it's basically a one-stop shop CRM tool. On the left side, you have your CRM dashboard, which maintains all of your day-to-day business, and you can track all of your leads and prospects and existing clients all from one dashboard. Then on the right side, you have your prospecting tool, which is really, really cool because so let's say you're set up with the system and you're a life insurance agent and you're working in the 33067 zip code in Coral Springs. So what's neat is you can tell this to the system, okay? You can say, I want to work in 33067 zip code. I want every person that's turning 65 in the next 6 months. And I'm going to market my retiree email campaign to all of these people that come up, or prospects, if you will. Okay, and the system will literally spit out a list of names, emails, phone numbers, and addresses when available of every person in that zip code that falls into that criteria. And you get 1,000 names at no charge every single month. That's 12,000 new prospects to speak to every year to add to your database, okay, which is more people to drip on with your emails, more people to get your name in front of. If you hire, say, a college or high school student during the summer to work on your database, this is a great place for that person to start calling on and send out mailers and email blasts. I mean, the ideas go on forever. But the point, all you need to know is this is a one-stop shop for on the CRM side, which means client relationship management, and then, of course, on the prospecting side. That's where you're going to get up to 1,000 prospects every month to speak to. Okay, so the way we set this up is we pay for the activation fee, okay, even if you're brand new with us and you haven't written anything. So we get you all set up at no charge, okay, and then if you're brand new with us and you never wrote a piece of business, it's a co-op fee of $25 per month, okay, which is nothing. That's literally pennies on the dollar for a program like this. And if you're active with us and you're writing at least one application a month, okay, let's say one app per month, so 12 throughout the year, then you get this entirely free. There's no charge whatsoever. So if you're brand new with us, you never wrote a piece of business, $25 a month, we pay for the activation. Once you start writing and you're averaging one application per month, which is nothing, then we pay for the entire system. So there is nothing else like this available. We own the rights to Agency Automator. In fact, you'll see this in the next Insurance Newsnet magazine. We were featured in the Tech Guide. We were handpicked by the editor to talk about how cool and neat the Agency Automator is. So we couldn't be any more excited. We're rolling this out next Friday. So on the 21st, 2 p.m. Eastern, a webinar you do not want to miss, folks. I promise you, this thing is awesome. And if you've known me for a while now, you know we're not going to accept anything less than average. So you should be very excited about this, as we are. Okay, moving forward here, we have one more slide, and then Joe's going to dive into all of the hot products and niches. So like I said earlier, we have our at a glance, which basically sums up all of our carriers, when and where to go to these carriers, what products to use. So it's kind of like a cheat sheet. It's called at a glance. We'll email that out to everybody after today's webinar. That's what you're looking at below in that blue chart on the left side and in the center. And then, of course, on the right side, the latest carriers that we have added to the Levinson family, or Levinson toolbox, if you will, is Oxford Life, great final expense product you can sell over the phone. One America has a awesome long-term care product, very neat single premium money guard type of product, so neat stuff there. And of course, Liberty Bankers, annuities, final expense. American Amicable on the left side of that blue box, great final expense, and some other niche products. So those are 4 brand new carriers that we have added to the mix. If you want to get set up and contracted, just let us know. Also, keep your eyes open. Every carrier that we bring on, we have a launch webinar. So typically we'll have the senior VP from the carrier on the call, and then we'll dive into all of the products and how to quote them, and basically everything from A to Z. And then if you missed that webinar, we have now, which we're going to show you in a few minutes, we have a video library tool on our website, so you can go back and look at all of the archived videos, webinars, everything that you've missed. You can even do a search, and it will pull up everything related to that topic. So, you know, it's so important. And before I let Joe dive in here, you know, you guys and girls, you have to be so aware of the latest technology, social media, everything that's going on around us. You know, you're hearing about all these new tools and products and technology and social media outlets, and it can be very overwhelming. But you need to know, you have to have your eyes and ears open. And we're out there. We're going to help you, okay? We're going to give you that new tool or piece of technology, or if there's a new social media outlet, we're going to talk about it. We'll have a webinar on that. But you can't turn your head the other way and say, you know what, this isn't going to affect me. I've been in the business 40 years, and I'm going to keep working the way I have with my yellow legal pad. This business will pass you by, I promise you. Look what happened to Kmart, Blockbuster Video, Yellow Cab, I mean, Borders Bookstore. We can go on and on. Don't be left behind, okay? We're here to help you. It doesn't matter if you're 79 years old or you're 19, fresh out of high school. We're going to hold your hand and talk about this new technology and platforms and how it relates to our business. That's what's most important. So just be on our webinars, and we'll always keep you posted. If there's something new and hot, we'll be the first ones to tell you about it and make sure you understand it completely and give you all the tips and tools to make sure that you're successful and you're not left behind like a yellow cab. We want you to be the Uber of 2017. So we'll always keep you one step ahead. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Joseph Loughran, and we'll dive right into today's webinar. Joe?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. So like you mentioned, everything we're going to be covering, of course, we're diving into some very specific product knowledge here. We're going to be sending out the entire PowerPoint slide deck, so you'll have all this material. I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions after the webinar, but just either respond to that email or call our office, and our marketing team will answer any questions that you have. So I'm going to start off with our top simplified issue carriers. You know, we're seeing a lot of changes in the industry with a lot of different companies switching to a simplified issue type of underwriting. You know, they're realizing that, you know, ordering the exams, ordering the APS records is very costly. Now with all the background checks, MIB, script check, even credit checks, they're able to get a really, really clear picture of what that client's outcome and mortality is. So we're seeing a lot of companies switch to simplified issue and waiving the pyramid exams. So this first chart here, we'll take a look at You can see John Hancock and Principal Life both will actually issue up to $1 million of coverage without any pyramid exams whatsoever. John Hancock will go all the way up to age 60, as well as Principal, and the turnaround time is pretty phenomenal. This is basically submitting the application. Principal has a drop ticket you can use. A telephone interview is completed. At the end of that telephone interview, the decision is made. So very quick, very simple to use. With John Hancock, right now they're using this on their term product, specifically designed for the non-med type of business. With Principal Life, we have access to this not only on the term chassis, but also universal life, index universal life. So a lot of great ways to use that non-med type of underwriting. You'll see in the middle there, Lincoln and SBLI both are starting at age 18, up to $500,000 of coverage. This is basically their normal e-application or drop ticket process, but again, they're waiving the pyramid exam. About 7 to 10 days is the average turnaround. Those issue ages you can see with Lincoln go up to 50, SBLI is all the way up to age 60. And as we go further down the chart here, Sagicor Life has a great accelerating program. They kind of coined that phrase, up to $500,000 for term, universal life and whole life products. The neat thing about Sagicor is they actually will go up to age 65, and they have a point of sale underwriting approval, which means you can actually get the client on the phone, go through the medical questions, go through the e-application, conference in the underwriter. They're going to run that script check, that MIB, that MVR right on the phone, ask the client any specific medical questions that they see in their background, and then after that phone call, they're going to actually give you the approval. So very neat, simple, easy process. We're seeing amazing rates with Sagicor Life, especially for the non-med term. So just a great product to use. And I'll show you in the next slide how to actually run the quotes and find out which one of these companies is going to be the most competitive. Of course, at the bottom, our Lightning Issue term product, we have two products, the level death benefit up to $150,000. The decreasing product goes up to $100,000. Issue ages 18 to 64. This is the only instant approval product in the industry. What I mean by that is once you get appointed with Lightning Issue term, you actually receive your own website for clients to go, run a quote, complete the application. At the end of about a 4.5 to 5 minute e-app, they actually will get the instant approval, and policies are mailed within 48 hours directly to the client. So it's actually easier. If you've ever bought auto insurance online, it's easier than that. There's less questions. It's very simple to use. And we're rolling out that level term in just a couple weeks here. What's very neat is if you're already appointed with Lightning Issue term, that level and decreasing benefit are going to be on the same website we've already provided to you. If not, and you want to get appointed, submit that paperwork, and we'll make sure that we put you at the front of the line and get you an agent code so you can start using that. It's a great tool to use with Agency Automator because you're going to be able to email all your clients with a pre-made template for them to go ahead and purchase coverage on an instant basis. So definitely a great product. Also, as we move forward in the slides here, I'm highlighting some of the more competitive or more aggressive underwriting carriers. You'll see at the bottom I've listed other carriers that are alternatives to what we're diving into. So we have so many options, we don't have time to go into every single one, but again, we'll be sending this out so you'll have kind of a cheat sheet as to what are the top carriers and what are some of the other great options that are available. Real quick here, if you go to CarrieLevinson.com, obviously there's a lot of options. You want to figure out which one is going to be the most competitive. If you log in, you can access that quote engine. I've actually put a little red arrow there that goes right to Simplified Issues. So if you check that box and put in all the client information, you're going to be able to see every single one of these options in real time. You can actually go right to the e-application, or if you want, you can print the paper application and even send the quotes via email directly to your clients through that CarrieLevinson.com portal.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Yeah, and on that same quote engine that you just saw from Joe, which is on our Carrie Levinson website, okay, if you see the red arrow there, if you uncheck that Simplified Issue button, that's where all of your traditional fully underwritten term is going to come up, which you're going to see on the next slide here. So when running just a regular basic term quote, you know, let's say you have a 50-year-old, you want to run $1 million at 20 or 30 years, and you want to look at the different rates and compare them, okay, with all of these carriers, okay, which we have direct IMO contracts with every carrier on this slide, even on the bottom there, as you can see the listed area there, bottom, I would say center, right, and left. And then the 5 companies above that are our typical go-to carriers, okay, all A-rated or better, and you're going to generally see them come up in the top 10. And I would probably stick with these companies if you have just a regular situation, a healthier client, like I said, $1 million of 20-year term. Stick to a household name, high-rated company. It's going to be an easier sale for you, and typically the premiums are going to come up in the top 5 or even top 7. So Protective Life, okay, top left corner, they have a term product that's based on a UL chassis, which is kind of neat. So there's some cash values there, and there's an extension option. So that's neat. And then there's a income provider option for your client, which is totally different than a traditional term product. Banner Life, Legal and General, they've been around. They were probably one of the first term carriers around. One of the hottest term companies out today, A+ rated. They have a new 25-year option, which is pretty neat. And then for conversion, they will actually give you conversion credits, which is another neat option. AIG, household name, been around for a long, long time. If you have a case that is rated, okay, tables 2, 3, 4, their ratings come in about 30 to 50% less than the competing carrier. So anytime if you have someone overweight, let's say blood pressure, cholesterol medications, maybe they're not the healthiest, AIG is a great option. Plus they have a full return of premium rider. So, and then thinking back, you can sell the new term versus the old term, okay, especially if you're working our orphan leads. Okay, that's huge because you can talk to a orphan policyholder and say, you know, Mr. Smith, you have the old 20-year term that doesn't pay or reward you until you're dead and your spouse benefits. The new type of life insurance has a return of premium option. So at the end of 20 or 30 years, you get back all of the premiums paid. So in other words, free life insurance. Or we have policies that have living benefit riders. So if you get cancer, critical illness, the policy triggers pay, so you benefit while you're still alive. So that's great for AIG. And then, of course, Principal is another go-to household name, great company, non-med up to $1 million. This is the first and only. So you still have your great competitive rates, but they do not require blood and urine as long as your client is healthy, up to $1 million. We have seen cases get approved in less than a week. So to have that kind of face amount and that quick approval with no exam is huge. So we were just talking about the term with living benefits, new kind of term life insurance, Transamerica, right under Principal there. Again, great go-to household name, A+ rated, living benefits available with the traditional term and a disability income rider. This is also great if you're working our mortgage protection leads. Transamerica, great go-to. On the bottom there, North American, Salmon's Financial Company, which is privately owned and A+ rated. So they have a great name. If any CPA or estate planning attorney is involved, North American is a great company to look at. Their financials are awesome, okay? So especially their indexed UL, vanilla term, excellent go-to company. They have children's term riders that you can add on to the vanilla term product, which is neat. And then, like I said, all of those carriers listed on the bottom are also our go-to companies if that top 5 doesn't fit. So if you see any company there on the bottom that you want to get appointed with, or maybe if you're already contracted and you want to use our cash for contracting incentive where you can get a higher contract and a cash incentive with your first app, you let us know and we will get you all set up. So take out a pen and paper, just anything that you see, because I know we're talking kind of fast. Anything you see that you want us to dive into a little more after the call, just let us know, and we will definitely get you up to speed. Okay, moving forward here, this is a hot topic, especially the end of this year and going into 17, is cash accumulation permanent life insurance. Joe's going to dive into this, and then we'll move forward. Joe?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. So just to cover some of the top UL carriers, we do, like we mentioned earlier, have that term quote engine on careylevinson.com. The neat thing is, instead of checking maybe a 20 or 30-year term, you can actually check guaranteed universal life and compare all the universal life options basically side by side and see who's the most competitive. So when we run these universal life scenarios, again, we've picked the top 5 carriers, and the first one is Protective Life. This is one of the lowest cost universal life policies. Even if you want to dial it down to age 90, 95, or if you want to go all the way out past age 100, 121, you can do that as well. A great rider that you can add on is the Extend Care, which is basically living benefits, long-term care type of triggers. A great carrier to go to. They've got some great underwriting as well. Beneath that, Lincoln. Lincoln is one of our go-to companies for universal life. They do have a table shape program you can actually use for clients up to age 70. If they get table rated 1, 2, or 3, you can shave off those tables and give that client a standard rate, which is phenomenal if you're ever in a competitive situation and that client maybe has some underwriting issues that excludes them from getting that standard rate class. Also, for riders, they have a guaranteed insurability option so that should your client need additional death benefit down the road, normally we'd have to go back to underwriting and ask for some additional policies. You can actually add in that guaranteed insurability rider so that we can automatically increase the death benefit down the road without any additional underwriting, which is great. Third one down the list here, American General, of course, household name. Very, very competitive universal life product. It does, although you can run it as a no-lapse universal life, has some great cash value. We also have a great rider, which is called the Lifetime Income Rider, which basically means if you have a policy that's universal life and you pay it up, in other words, you pay for 20 or 25 years, in most universal life policies, you can take withdrawals and loans from the cash value. But the way that this product works, you can actually accelerate the death benefit as income while you're still alive, even if you don't use a long-term care rider. So if you think about that for a second, it's a great way to show clients guaranteed income regardless of how the market performs because you're accelerating that death benefit while you're still alive. Again, you don't have to use any chronic or critical illness riders to claim on that. You can basically turn on the switch to supplement income for retirement. Fourth carrier down here, Mutual of Omaha, of course, a very popular company. Mutual of Omaha is great for clients that maybe have an occasional marijuana usage. We can get them a non-smoker rate. They also have a cash value enhancement rider built into the UL product, which basically gives your clients return or premium on a universal life plan starting in policy year 15, and then based on the different policy anniversary, whether it's year 20 all the way through 25, they can choose to surrender the policy and get return or premium back on that UL plan, although they're paying the guaranteed universal life premium rate. So for what they're paying, it's very, very inexpensive, but they're adding that additional ROP rider pretty much at no additional cost. Final carrier at the bottom here, Principal Life. Again, Bill mentioned non-med up to $1 million. Great universal life product. We also have cost of living benefit increase, which is very similar to that guaranteed insurability option that Lincoln has. You can add that on for relatively little cost for that rider, but again, being able to show the client an additional death benefit growth without having to go through underwriting. Of course, across the bottom, just like our previous slide, we've listed some of our other top universal life carriers. Companies like Prudential, National Life Group, MetLife, North American are all top UL carriers. You will definitely see those in the mix when you go to run quotes and actually dive into some of the other options. And up next here is the Index Universal Life carriers. Index Universal Life, obviously one of the hottest products out in the industry. We do have a phenomenal Index Universal Life sales tool that you can download today that actually compares Index Universal Life versus different types of investment products, whether it's 401k mutual funds, whether it's qualified or non-qualified annuity products, and it basically will show your client the bottom line of what it's costing them for that investment versus Index Universal Life, and 99% of the time being able to take that tax-free distribution from that IUL carrier wins. So I'm going to dive into a couple of these Index UL carriers. Of course, if you need any illustrations or want to show distributions, just contact our marketing team and we can run those for you the same day. North American is at the top of the list here. Indexed universal life carriers do go back and forth depending on the client's issue age, rate class, what type of distributions we're looking for. The reason that North American is at the top here is because they have some great early liquidity options. If you use their product, which is called the Rapid Builder IUL, you can actually add the waiver of surrender charges rider, which means that client does not have to pay any surrender charges, which has kind of always been the downfall to Index Universal Life. Also, living benefits are included on North American's IUL product, so that's a great company to use. Beneath that, you'll see Protective Life. For Index Universal Life, a very, very low cost of insurance, great underwriting. Again, they have a cash value rider that can grow that cash value much more rapidly than other IUL products. And again, that Extend Care rider, which was the same rider available on their UL product, gives that client long-term care benefits. Minnesota Life is the third company on the list. Extremely high cash value products. One thing I love about Minnesota Life, they have a great product which actually allows you to put in the premium and solve for minimal death benefit on an increasing option and really blow up that cash value. Unlike any other carrier, you can also add an LTC rider, which is a great thing to have on that IUL product. Mutual of Omaha is the next carrier on the list. They have a great program which actually helps clients get an upgrade in the rate class that they apply for, especially on the IUL product, which is called their Fit Credit. So if a client gets maybe a Table 1 or Table 2, we can upgrade them to standard or even better. Also, living benefits are included at no additional cost on Mutual of Omaha's product. One thing I want to mention as a side note, Mutual of Omaha, although they have those living benefits included, they are the only carrier in the industry that will allow you to actually use a long-term care or chronic illness rider regardless of the table rating. So even if you have a client that's issued Table 5, 6, 7, 8, they're still going to receive the living benefit rider on that product, which is phenomenal. Most of the carriers will say, sorry, we're not going to do this, because it's almost like guaranteed issue long-term care when you're able to issue it on that high of a table rating. So great company, great product, great underwriting, definitely a go-to for IUL. Next carrier, Principal Life, again, back to the non-med up to $1 million, living benefit riders included as well. That turnaround is about 72 hours, especially for Index UL. They're one of the only carriers that has that non-med option. Then finally at the bottom here, Prudential has some great IUL products. They're one of our go-to impaired risk carriers. One thing I love about Prudential, if you talk about LTC, chronic critical illness riders, they actually have a benefit access rider that has a 0-day elimination period to actually claim on the accelerated death benefit. So unlike the other carriers, you've got to wait 90 days and receive a certain portion. Prudential is going to actually give you those accelerated benefits with a 0-day elimination, which is great. Across the bottom here, you'll see Allianz, National Life Group, Lincoln, even AXA. They've got some great loan provisions on their IUL products. So if you have any questions, give us a call, and we'll run those illustrations and just send you everything you need to get started with those IUL companies. Next category here is whole life carriers. Whole life we've seen just in the last couple of years really make a strong comeback, and a lot of carriers have made some great changes to their products to really kind of help that whole scenario. Of course, MetLife, everybody knows MetLife, great for large death benefits, great guaranteed cash value. MetLife came out with some short pay designs, so if you want to do a 10 pay or a 20 pay, the problem with whole life is it's been very difficult to show a 10 pay or 20 pay scenario on a guaranteed basis. So what they've done is they designed those products on 10 pay, 20 pay scenario, even pay to age 65, so you can actually maximize that cash value. Great dividend history with MetLife. They also have something called the Flex Term Rider, which is a term rider you can add onto their whole life product that actually goes all the way to age 80. So if you put it up against Mass Mutual or New York Life or any of the other top whole life companies and you add that Flex Term Rider, you're going to come in about 40 to 50% less in premium, even though you have the same death benefit. So great for competitive scenarios. Next company down the list is Surety Life. They have the only joint whole life product in the industry. It's basically a whole life product that's a first to die plan, so you can have a husband and wife on the same plan. Even add a term product rider. They are non-medically underwritten up to $149,999, and they have something called the Value Enhancement Cash Value Rider, which basically lets you overfund that whole life product and really show more cash value than the next competitive whole life product. Moving down the list here, Minnesota Life, great for competitive smoker rates. If you have a client who's looking for whole life that has a conservative approach to that life insurance product, You can, especially if they're a smoker, show phenomenal cost of insurance rates, plus guaranteed insurability as well. Sagicor Life has a full pay whole life product, again, a simplified issue, or a single premium product. So you can actually put in a single premium into the whole life, show the client amazing liquidity even from the first year all the way through. That contract will actually grow, as well as cash value and death benefit will increase throughout the year. So a great option for someone who has a lump sum of money but also wants liquidity. Of course, you can throw in living benefits as well. Kansas City Life is a great carrier for low death benefit amounts for whole life, especially if you're looking for a plan for juveniles. They have a gift of life plan, which is very simple, very, very small monthly premium amounts. Of course, it comes with our no-cost scholarship plan. You can add living benefit riders on that product as well. And they just last year transitioned into a new whole life product, which allows us to quote more than just 2 rate classes. So you can get pretty competitive. SBLI has a great full pay and single premium product available. You can also add some term riders. So if you put a, let's say, lump sum into that term product, into that whole life product, you can tack on some additional term riders to make that product that much more competitive. So great options for whole life. Of course, we do have Forrester's National Life Group as well in the whole life arena. Okay, my next slide here is focusing on our top impaired risk carriers. For those of you that are unaware, we actually have an in-house underwriter. Her name is Amanda Montalvan. Her job is to basically look at all the impaired risk carriers, even as far as taking some cases that maybe are impaired risk, have a lot of comorbidities. We'll actually do a trial application, order the medical records. Amanda will package them together, send them out to individual underwriters, and secure the best tentative offer that we can for that client. So all you have to do at that point is take a formal application. We'll get that policy approved as the tentative offer was issued, and then place the policy. So very, very great resource to have at your fingertips. Amanda and I met earlier this week and kind of looked at our top impaired risk carriers, tried to find out which companies have the best sweet spots for different underwriting niches, and then looked at the available products. So at the top here, Lincoln is a great carrier for us because not only do they have universal life, IUL, simplified issue term, regular term, and survivorship products, they have a table shave program up to 3 tables. They'll also give clients non-tobacco rates for alternate tobacco. So clients that chew, maybe use a pipe, those type of clients are going to be able to, even if they use cigars, they're going to be able to get non-tobacco rates. So a great carrier. Just beneath that, Mutual of Omaha. We talked about the fit test, giving clients credits up to 2 tables. Also, marijuana users can get non-smoker rates, which is phenomenal. Most carriers will still issue them a smoker rate. We do have universal life, IUL, simplified issue term, and survivorship products as well. Our third carrier on the list here is Prudential. Prudential actually came out with a very, very unique impaired risk niche. They will write clients with HIV/AIDS. They have to meet certain criteria, but there's actually a flyer on the website. If that client qualifies, Prudential is a go-to carrier. Before they came out with that program, we were kind of stuck with our guaranteed issue product. So definitely a great niche. Again, alternate tobacco. Prudential is the only carrier that will take clients that use e-cigarettes as a standard plus non-smoker rate. Every other carrier is going to give that client a smoker rate. So if you have any clients that were written or are using that e-cigarette, take a look at Prudential. They're a great product to go for that type of situation. Any aviation risk, hazardous avocation, scuba divers, hang gliders, people that skydive, parachute, even foreign nationals, Prudential is a go-to company. They do have a great UL, IUL, even return or premium term for 15, 20, and 30 year. I think they're one of the few companies that actually has a 15-year ROP product. At the bottom here, Principal, we of course mentioned several times their non-med capabilities up to $1 million of coverage. They have a great program called the Automatic Standard Program. Any client that receives a flat extra up to $7.50 per thousand will be shaved off and actually receive a standard rate, which is phenomenal. They're the only ones in the industry that have that flat extra shave up to that high of an amount. Also, table shave up to 3 tables just like Lincoln, but of course we can go up to $1 million on a non-medical basis with Principal. Universal Life, IUL, term products, definitely a great go-to company.
Let me say
Yes,
one
go
thing,
ahead.
Joe, before we move forward. Obviously, this is a lot of information for everyone to take in. So if you do have, and just always remember this, if you have a client or a situation where there's a lot of medication, maybe cancer, surgery, whatever the case is, even if it's a Saturday, Sunday, we're not here, use that X-ray underwriting tool that's available on our website. You can get in anytime. You can put in as much or as little information on that client, and the system will tell you instantly what carrier, what product, what the premium is, and then where they fall in as far as table rating. So we make it very simple for you. And then, of course, if it's Monday to Friday during business hours, call Amanda. She can help you with everything. She'll tell you exactly which carrier, what product to use, and who looks best for that certain client. So just remember that, and know you can always count on us for help, but we also have that X-ray underwriting tool that's available 24/7. Okay, Joe, let's move forward here.
Yep, thanks, Bill. So the next category here before I turn it over to you is disability carriers. So disability has always been a great product line. If you're not offering it right now, to go back to some clients. And we actually have some great companies starting with Principal Life. Principal's always been the go-to carrier for business owners, white-collar type clients. One neat thing about their products, you can actually issue up to $4,000 a monthly income on a simplified issue basis, which is great. I think the next closest carrier is about $2,500. So being able to issue up to $4,000 a month is great. One particular niche or rider that they have is actually a business loan rider. So if your client purchases a DI product and they're a business owner and they have an outstanding business loan, if they become disabled, by adding that product line, they can actually have that DI product pay off up to $2 million of a business loan, whether they're renting a facility or they have a loan out on equipment. That product will take care of that. They also have an income security plan. If they're contributing to a qualified retirement plan, obviously when they become disabled, they're not going to be able to continue to make those payments. So by adding that income security plan to their portfolio of DI products, that client will still be able to contribute up to about $5,700 a month to their qualified retirement plan. So some great options. Moving down the list here, Illinois Mutual is a great go-to carrier for blue-collar, gray-collar type occupations. They also have a return of premium rider available on the DI product. So if your client does not claim all the way up to age 65, they can get every cent of their premium payments back, which I think is a great tool to use for clients that are worried about paying into a DI plan but never actually claiming on that benefit. Down the list here are Surety Life, blue-collar products. They're one of the best companies. They also have a graded DI product for impaired risk. So if somebody doesn't qualify for a normal DI plan, we can go to a surety, get them that graded type benefit, which staggers the disability payments over the first 3 years. Also, non-cancelable rider will guarantee that their premiums will stay the same on that DI product. Moving down the list here, Mutual of Omaha. They are usually my go-to DI carrier for shorter elimination periods. So someone's looking for short-term disability. We have all those options with Mutual of Omaha, but what's very neat is we can add a 7-day or 14-day elimination period where most other carriers are going to actually force us to go into a 30-day elimination period. We can also add a critical illness rider on that DI product as well. At the very bottom here, Fidelity Security Life. This is a great disability company for any type of clients that have been declined or refused by other DI carriers. We can go to Fidelity Security Life and actually get an impaired risk DI case up to $4,000 a monthly income. So great options for DI products. Again, if you have any questions, just reach out and we can run through any scenario for any client that you have.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Also, what we did not go over, okay, is cancer, critical illness, accidental death benefit, life. So if you're interested in that, all of that information is on that at-a-glance sheet, and you'll see our carriers. We have a simplified issue. We even have guaranteed issue plans that are available on our Sell While You Sleep platform, which basically means they're client-driven, so there's no agent involvement. Client signs up online, policy gets mailed directly to your client, and of course you get full commission. So cancer, critical illness, accidental death, all available on that at-a-glance sheet that you'll get in today's email. Okay, now, guaranteed issue is obviously a term that comes up all the time. This is the last resort, okay, and this goes for any part of the life insurance world. So, you know, I've been hearing a lot about AIG came out with a new guaranteed issue product, and some of our agents said, hey, when are you getting the product? And we looked into it. We were offered a contract. We found out there's a 2-year chargeback with AIG. So you're writing these unhealthy clients, and if the client passes on within the first 2 years, you get a full chargeback. So obviously, we steer clear of that AIG final expense guaranteed issue product. We do have these carriers on the left side, Gerber up to $25,000, Great Western up to $50,000, Kemper goes up to $25,000, United Home Life goes up to $10,000. We can stack these if you want to, and then, you know, each company kind of has their little niche, but that's pretty much all the hot guaranteed issue carriers right now that I personally would sell. So if you need those, we can run the quotes. We also have everything available on the guaranteed issue section of our website. So whatever you need, just let us know. On the right side there, so we have a complete final expense turnkey sales platform. All of the hottest products and carriers that are available, and I'll just talk about a few here. We have client-driven products you can sell over the phone. Final expense, just as everyone should know by now, is typically a small death benefit whole life product. Okay, what makes these so-called final expense is the non-medical, quick issue, over-the-phone sales. Okay, it makes things a lot easier. You can get in, get out, and these typically are smaller premiums. We also have a quote engine on our website and on the INS professional site. So that's where you have your own retail website. So your clients can go on your website, run final expense quotes, or if you need a final expense quote, you can go to kerrylevinson.com. Everything is available at your fingertips. And then we even, Joe, just back up 1 second. Let me just mention one thing. We even have the infamous scholarship program available with most of these final expense companies that you're looking at on the screen. So just remember, especially if you're playing in that arena and there's a competing agent that's trying to outprice you or your client, you know, saying, hey, I can get you the same $25,000 for $2 less, you can come in and use the scholarship platform as value added and say, here, you can give your grandson, Mikey, 1 free year at any of these 360 colleges, okay? And it won't cost your client any more money. So by working with you, you can give the free scholarship platform, and we have, it's called Legacy Safeguard, which is a complete burial turnkey platform that you can give your client that has an 800 phone number. It's a full kit that includes everything the client needs to know about final expense, burial insurance, all of the information to know, a handbook, a CD that talks about all of the local funeral homes and 800 phone numbers if they need assistance at the time of need. Basically, a turnkey final expense kit comes free if they buy the product from you versus the competing agent. So all of this available to you at no charge. That really gives you a big leg up against your competition. So just remember that as you're out there in the trenches. Okay, so the final expense quote engine that I was just talking about, this is available on kerrylevinson.com. So let's say you're talking with a 65-year-old female, $25,000 policy. Put the information in on our website. It will tell you from the least expensive to the most expensive company that we have. And then what's neat, on your own website, your client can go in, run a quote, and then you get an email instantly that has the client's name, phone number, and email, so you can pick up the phone, call them, and make the sale while they're still hot, while the sizzle is there. So that's the whole point there and the name of the game. We also have, talking about final expense, we have a great co-op mailer lead program also that comes with that legacy safeguard model. So that's also available to you if you're interested, and we pay for a portion of those mailers. Okay, moving forward here, Joe's going to talk about our upcoming agent training events, and then we're almost done here. We got about 3 or 4 minutes. Joe?
Yes, thanks, Bill. So early next week, we've got a couple great webinars on the 17th at 2 p.m. Eastern. We're going over with the carrier the taxation of life insurance part 1. So this is a little bit more of an advanced type case design webinar. We're going to be talking about modified endowment contracts, regular life insurance distributions. On that same day at 3 p.m. Eastern, we're actually going over Minnesota Life's accelerated underwriting program, which they're just rolling out to be able to let you submit some cases on a non-medical basis. And then Tuesday, which is the 18th at 2 p.m. Eastern, the Levinson Annuity Division is actually going over indexed annuities 101. So you'll learn the basics of indexed annuity products, those top carriers, what's attractive about indexed annuities, and some great sales ideas to actually start using them for your clients. And then, like Bill mentioned earlier in the call, Friday the 21st at 2 p.m. Eastern, we're actually rolling out the agency automator. So we're going to be diving into how to use that CRM platform, how to use those email prospecting tools, and actually how to uncover those 1,000 leads per month you can use inside of that CRM tool. Of course, you can go right to the YouTube channel and watch any of the recorded webinars. You'll receive emails. You can also register for any one of these upcoming events right from CarrieLevinson.com. So everything is on that main website, right at your fingertips.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Great job. We had tons of information here, so you can imagine we've been working on this for a few days now. So it's great that we kind of took everything and put it under one easy-to-understand shell called At a Glance, which is what you're going to receive today. Real quick, we have just 2 slides left. A new addition to our website is our video training library. So you can now go and pick the topic that you want to look into. Okay, so let's say it's sales training, and then we have a library of videos and archived webinars that we hosted just on that topic. So you can do this on a Sunday night at midnight if you're bored and the kids are sleeping. It's available at your fingertips anytime, and we're constantly adding to this almost daily. So check that out. It's the new video training library, brand new edition. Also just announced yesterday, okay, we've been talking about it for a little while now, and Joe, let's go forward and then we'll back up for a second. Okay, so we just announced yesterday our qualifications for the 2017 Annual Agent Expo. This is free for all appointed agents. So as long as you're active with us, we pay for everything, meals included. And what we did here is we start the qualifications at $10,000 of premium. We started this October 1st. Okay, $10,000 of premium. You can qualify for free airfare round trip. Of course, we pay for all meals. We'll even pay for 1 to 2 nights, depending on what level you qualify at our beachfront location in South Florida at our expo. And you can see the picture on the left and right side. That is the actual location in South Florida on March 31st, 2017, which also happens to be Carrie, my father's birthday. So it's going to be a day that you will not forget, I promise you. We're going to have an awesome keynote speaker, all of our top carriers, underwriters, VPs from around the country. You'll meet other agents and GAs just like you that maybe just started or they're veterans in the business. You'll hear from live successful agents there at the meeting. It's going to be awesome. We even have the creator of the agency automator that's flying in just for the event. So we got some really, really neat stuff. Write that down, March 31st, 2017, and make sure you get that premium in life, annuity, long-term care, and you can literally spend the whole weekend in South Florida with your wife and kids at no charge. So definitely make that note. Look for the email updates, Levinson 2017 Agent Expo. Okay, now mortgage leads, and then we have our last slide here. Mortgage lead program. This has been so hot this year that I wanted Joe to run a slide on it, and the reason why is, we kind of went into this accidentally. We sampled other programs out there for the last even up to 10 years, and most of these mortgage lead programs are garbage. They're selling B and C leads for $30, $40, $50 a lead. We've had a horrible experience. Just tell you real quick because we have 2 minutes left. We teamed up with a personal friend and GA of my father's. He's known for a long time. And he basically made available a mortgage lead program a few years ago. We sampled it with just a few agents just to see how it would work. Fast forward till today, we're going to be at $500,000 of lead sales for 2016. So we're very excited about this. It's a co-opportunity, $18 a lead, and we give a few free leads per order. Definitely worth a shot to try out the Levinson Mortgage Lead Program. It works. Okay, the last slide here, as you know, I'm all about motivation. I'll give you a few sales tips. Joe, if you can fast forward one slide. And this is just my opinion on looking into the future. And again, I don't care what age you are. In order to be successful, you're going to have to build your database of email addresses, drip on your clients and prospects. Keep your name fresh, okay? At least once a month is what I recommend. So with the Agency Automator, okay, I hope everybody on the call gets up and running next week. The whole point is to build your database of your existing clients, and then you're going to dump in these 1,000 new prospects every single month with the Agency Automator. Send out these custom emails. I would even do a 2-minute video. Have your son or daughter hold up your iPhone, take a video, talk about what's new and interesting in the life insurance world. Do that once or twice a month. Include that in your email blast. Show that you're different and not just like the Me Too insurance agent down the street. Always be real. Be authentic, because your clients and prospects will see right through the BS. So be yourself. Come up with some fresh new ideas. Talk about the new life insurance that pays while you're still alive. Okay, talk about critical illness, how important that is nowadays. Do these quick 2-3 minute videos, post them on your website, drip them out to your whole database, okay, and it's going to turn around for you. It's going to work, because your name will be top of mind when it comes to a new life insurance or supplemental policy. I promise you, and we'll help you do that. And I'll end with this. One day, the same people who didn't believe in you will tell everyone how they met you. So let's be that person. Put your right foot forward. Let's all make it happen. Have a great rest of the week, a great weekend, and good selling. Take care.